In this video, we are going to review question order and simple present tenses. So we are going to see how much we remember about these two topics. Remember, we have two different kinds of questions. We have the information questions that start with a WH word and ask for details and explanations. And we also have the yes/no questions that they normally start with an auxiliary, right? And that are going to be answered with yes or no. Normally, it could be the auxiliary do or does, or the auxiliary be, the ones that are used to ask any yes/no question. They can be used in simple present, as we said, or in other tenses as well. In this chart, we can summarize the different kinds of questions. For example, are you happy is a yes/no question with verb be. So I can say, yes, I am. Where are you from? In this case, I'm asking for specific information and using the word where, so it is an information question with be. We also can have questions like, does she study English? In this case, the answer is going to be yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. So it is going to be a yes/no question. The last one says, what does she study? It is information what I'm asking for because I am asking what is the major she is taking at the university. So we are going to say that is an information question, but with the auxiliary do. So in this case, we are going to say that all of them are in simple present, but according to the auxiliaries they are using. Let's make a short review of simple present tense. We have the formulas or the structure for be or for using it with other verbs. Remember that when we use verb be, we are going to describe maybe the person, a profession. We are going to use normally adjectives, so this is the reason why we use verb be. If it is negative, if the sentence is negative, we have to use verb be plus not. And if it is a question related to it, so we are going to use verb be, am, is, or are at the beginning, then the subject, and then the complement. In terms of other verbs, remember that with he, she, or it, we are going to add an s at the end of the verb. And also, if is a verb different from be, we have to use don't or doesn't in the negative part. Do and does are going to be the auxiliaries for asking questions, and the verb in negative and also in questions are going to be in base form. The most important thing is the usage. So we have that we can use simple present for habits. I always drink coffee at work. General facts. The earth is not flat. No discussion about that. Future timetables. The trains arrives at 3 p.m. Or something that is true in the present. I live in Washington, D.C. So we have some examples here and also the different usages. So when we speak, we have to put this into practice without forgetting with he, she, or it at the s at the end of the verb. So it is important to remember the spelling rules because we have to add the s in many verbs with he, she, or it. These 5 rules are going to summarize the ones we have to know. So in verbs like work, we add the s. In most of the verbs, we are going to add the s. If the verb ends with a consonant plus y, we are going to eliminate y and add ies. In case of any verb that finish in a sound like sh, like finish, or the ch, c, g, sh, s, z, or x, we are going to add es, finishes, and we are going to pronounce it. Verbs that ends with o are going to have the es ending, like in go or do, for example, goes and does. And irregular verbs like have, well, in this case, have a different way, right? Have is going to change to has, or for example, be is going to change to is in third person singular. Also remember that in simple present, we use adverbs of frequency. We have here the scale in which we use it. And remember the adverb of frequency is going to be after the verb be or before any other verb, right? So we are going to say here, for example, Daniel always passes his exams or he is always happy. Those are the ways in which we use adverbs of frequency. According to how often we do the activity, we choose one or the other.